Over the years, I've read several stories on paying off debt, including mine, and I've noticed it all goes the same way. There are three specific things that they do to help them pay off their debt faster. I can overcomplicate things, make it complex, make you jump through all the hooplas like my earrings are jumping right now. Or we can keep it simple and have you focus your energy on the main thing. The very first thing and the easiest thing that I've noticed, and it always happens first, is they eliminate unnecessary expenses. How unnecessary an expense is to you depends on how soon you want to pay off the debt. How unnecessary an expense is to you also depends on your mental well being, how much of your mental well being is at stake. A couple who paid off $224,000 in 3 years realized they were too busy working to watch TV, so they cut off their cable, and that saved them $720 each year. Now, you may decide, you know what, for your mental well being, you need some kind of entertainment outlet and choose to hold on to your cable. But you're going to have to find other things to cut off. Now, I can overcomplicate this and start telling you what is necessary and what is not necessary. But if I have to do that, then chances of you being successful at this is very slim. To be successful at this, you're going to have to decide for yourself what is necessary. I will not downplay mental well being because it is important. And so, if you cannot cut down cable because you need cable to stay sane, cool. But you can maybe even get other streaming services cheaper than cable. So, when you are ready to pay off debt and you are ready to cut off unnecessary expense, if the mental well-being comes in, the best option is to find an alternative that gives you the same effect for a cheaper price or for no cost at this all. First step is the easiest step because it's the only thing within your control. The money is in, it's up to you how you spend it. And so you can, for the most part, control how much goes out. So take a look at your expenses, go through it, which means you're going to have to know where your money is going and figure out what can be slashed and start slashing immediately. What usually happens after the first step, which is always the first step, is most people realize there's nothing else to cut. They've cut everything possible, and everything they have left is a must have. And so now you're stuck with your income as is, you're stuck with your expenses as is. You either have to be okay with how long it will take you to pay off the debt with what you have, or the second step, which is what everyone else does, is figure out how to bring more money in. They either pick up extra shifts at work if you're able to do overtime, or they start selling whatever they don't need in the house. Now, I think we really overestimate how much you can sell the stuff in your house. Maybe people have been successful at it. I've tried it. It's made me chicken change. My brother has done it and has made a lot of money. I, on the other hand, not so much so. This may not be for you, but what may be for you is picking up extra work here and there. A lot of people who have paid off their debt have picked up this things that we look down on. Babysit. We have the same couple who paid off 220 something thousand dollars in 3 years. Yes, they are high income earners, but guess what? You have someone working in the medical field take up babysitting to bring in extra cash. Take up mowing the lawn to bring in extra cash. How about cleaning the pool to bring? Holiday season is coming up. What can you do to bring in extra cash? Something that every single person who has paid off debt has done after cutting off expenses, they realize that can only go so far. If we want to get this debt done quickly so we can breathe, is bringing extra money. I realized or I accepted I am not the type to do this side hustle thing where I don't know how much is coming in per day. I need something that can bring me X amount of money. I know if I put in X amount of hours, I'm getting X amount of money. And so I just went and took a second job. I had the time, so I did it. Some people monetize what they're already good at. You can play piano. Well, how about you play for the church? Get paid. Go to a church that pays. I know if you're working 8 to 5, 5 days a week, what time? I know, but like I said, if you want to get it paid, if you want to get the debt taken care of, these are things you have to do, or be okay with how long it will take you to pay it off with what you have. After they've cut back expenses, found one or two ways to bring in more money, the next thing they do is put things in place to keep them motivated because motivation only lasts so long. A great plan is great, but a great plan is not what keeps you going, 6 months in, for some of us, 3 months in. For me back then, that was 2008, 2009. A great plan is not what kept me working an overnight job as a young girl. Motivation will get you doing every and anything the first few days. But after that, how are you going to keep this momentum going? For some people, what they've realized is rather than paying the credit card with the highest interest first, they start with the credit card with the lowest balance so that they can have small wins along the way. And then for some people, that actually derails them. Getting small wins along the way ends up putting a stop to the whole thing. They finally paid off one card and they're like, all right, we can relax. It's not that serious. So maybe that's not you. For some, keeping the motivation going means making it less miserable. And so rather than cutting off everything and cable, how about we keep the cable and we cut all the other things? How about we go out to eat once a week instead of every day like we've been doing? How about instead of going to a restaurant, we go to fast food, and that way it's cheaper than a restaurant? Finding ways to keep you motivated will help you stay the course, thereby helping you pay the debt off a lot faster. The point of this video is to give you the skeleton of how to get your debt paid off, what every single one of them has done. And it goes in this order. Now, you can go and acquire more information on any area you're struggling with. So if you're struggling with cutting back expenses, then you can consume more videos on how to cut back expenses where you get ideas on how to cut back expenses. Or if it's to bring in income, now you can watch more videos specific on side hustles or how to bring in extra money. Or when you're listening to debt payoff stories, you focus on that part of the story. What did they do to bring in extra income, right? Paying off debt can get overwhelming because sometimes we overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. When I paid mine off, 2008, 2009, YouTube wasn't even as it is now. You couldn't get all this valuable information from YouTube at the time. I just focused on these three things. My motivation then was I needed my money. I wanted to have some money and I didn't want to be shelling money out for my credit cards. And then I watched the Susie Orman show, and that was just once a week, but it was a good way to just keep my mind on my goal, remind me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It was secondary, but it helped. So this is for those of you who are getting overwhelmed with all the should do's and could do's and would do's. Just focus on these three things. I do have a lot of videos here on this channel about finances, saving, cutting back expenses, and all that. So browse through and watch what you believe you need. YouTube is good at letting you know what it believes you need based on what you've been watching. So go ahead and click on that, and you will definitely get valuable information. I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. Bye.